Metallica fan knows about Cliff and how he died and when he died, and you know he like I met Metallica. I started listening to Metallica when I was 6 years old, and now I'm 13 for 7 years. Okay, and like I never knew that happened to him. Like I never knew that. I knew that he died from a bus crash, but I didn't know what happened to him did really happen. So I found this video. I've been searching on it for like months, and I finally found it. And today I'm going to be sharing it with you. It's basically Metallica having an interview, I think in 1990 something. Yeah. But today I'm going to be sharing it with you guys, and let me know what you know in the comments if you have watched this video already or if you haven't. I don't know. Let's get right into the video. Damn, that's loud. I love
On this bus, nothing could touch you.
But Metallica's wild ride would soon come crashing to a halt. On September 27, 1986, the band was traveling by bus on the road between Stockholm and Copenhagen.
On that European tour, we had a really bad bus.
These particular buses weren't purpose-built that we have now. They have normal windows like a passenger coach, and the bunks are just bolted in. Then they put cardboard over the windows.
Earlier that night, a friendly dispute between Kirk and Cliff over sleeping arrangements concluded with a draw of cards.
The first card that Cliff picked was the ace of spades, and he looked at me and said, "I want your bunk." And I said, "Fine, you take my bunk, I'll sleep up front. That's probably better anyway,
Okay, so if Kirk won Cliff, Kirk would have been the one that died. Okay, not Cliff. So anyone, even if it was James or Lars or Kurt or anyone who took that bunk was gonna die. But unfortunately, Cliff got the bunk, and what happened to him? He died. Rest in peace, Cliff. He was a legend. He inspired me. When I was like 8 years old, I loved Cliff, and back then I didn't even know that he died. So when I knew, when I was I think 8 years old as well, I knew that he died, and that just broke me into tears, and I just I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe that because of him, I wanted to started to play bass, but we did not find any music shop with a bass guitar in it. So I bought a drums when I was 9 years old, and after 2 years I bought a guitar, I think and then I bought a microphone, and now I bought a new drums, and I don't know why I bought a new drums, to be honest. I sold my old one, I think. But anyways, when I knew that Cliff Burton died, it broke me into tears, I couldn't believe, I didn't want to believe that actually happened to him. I think I started crying a lot for 3 days straight, I think. I don't remember how much I kept crying. If it wasn't for Cliff, I would not have learned music. I would not have started even YouTube, to be honest, because the first video I ever uploaded, ever in 2020 or 2019, was me playing on the drums. So, if I didn't know that, I don't know how to explain it, but if Cliff Burton died, if I knew that Cliff Burton died, and I would not have bought every instrument, literally every instrument, guitar, microphone, drums. Okay, I would not have bought these things because he inspired me to play music. I really wanted the bass when I was little, but drums is actually a really cool instrument as well. Like, I really like drums, and I love like the sound of the drums, especially my new one. Let's get back into the video because I already took like 6 minutes to explain the story. I'm so sorry, guys.
Later on that night, about 5 or 6 in the morning, I heard a skidding, I heard a vibration, and then this motion. I thought we were going off a cliff.
He overcorrected to get back onto the road, and as he did, the back end came around this way, and it started chomp, chomp, chomp.
It's the sound of screeching brakes and being flipped around like a piece of clothes in a dryer.
Just got woke up, like hot coffee getting poured all over me, from the coffee machine, and
Okay,
the bus was on its side.
What happened? Is the bus gonna blow up?
Well, I jumped out of the bus, took off, did the 100
Wait,
yard
did he just say he jumped out of the bus? I didn't hear him well, to be honest, but let's just continue.
dash in about 7 seconds flat.
And we're standing out there in our underwear and, 10 below.
And I heard everyone screaming except for Cliff. And I thought, oh my God, something's wrong.
Seeing the bus driver just, freaking frantic.
And I turned around and I saw Cliff's legs sticking out from underneath the bus.
I went to, pull him out, wake him up or whatever. It's like, he's not moving.
And the driver walked over and started pulling on the blanket that was underneath the bus
doing?
next to Cliff. And I said, what are you doing?
I grabbed him and said,
Exactly.
don't you take that away from him.
Against all odds, the band hoped that somehow, some way, Cliff could be saved.
A crane turned up, a big crane with a jib and all that, and they hooked a chain round the bus.
What?
And
I
they
don't
picked the
understand
bus
anything.
up.
There's still people trapped under the bus, but everyone else is okay.
I don't know
Okay.
if Cliff was dead at this point or not, because the bus actually slipped back after they picked it up. They lifted it to pull him out, and it slipped back and landed again on the floor.
After that, I was in such shock that everything else for the next 3 or 4 hours, I can't even remember.
Kirk and James yelling at the driver.
What did you do? What did you do?
What happened? What's going on? Is this guy drunk or la la la? Oh, we hit some black ice. And I recall in my underwear,
Okay.
and socks, walking for miles, looking for this black ice, walking back on. Where's this black ice? I don't see any black ice. And I wanted to kill this guy. I was gonna end him there.
Early
James
Saturday
Savage,
morning,
bro.
September 27th, 1986, on the road near Ljungby, Sweden, Cliff Burton died. He was 24
He was so
years
young.
old.
He just got thrown out the window and boom, the bus landed on him.
What?
And basically, by all
He got
accounts,
thrown
he
out
never
the
woke
window?
up.
To this day, I just think, it could have been me. It couldn't have been me, but it's never left me to this day.
You always feel protected on tour. Nothing bad can happen like this. It's not allowed. You know what I mean? This is rock and roll, man. Nobody dies. But they do. And it had happened. And it was hard to grasp that.
Drinkers we were. We went back to the hotel and just drank.
I remember at 4 o'clock in the morning, I could hear James down on the street, drunk, screaming, Cliff, where are you? And when I heard that, I just broke into tears,
Within hours, news of Cliff's death reached Metallica's fans in America. One such fan was Flotsam and Jetsam bassist Jason Newsted.
I remember tears hitting the newspaper. Killed in Sweden, Metallica bassist Cliff Burton, 24 years old or whatever, and I'm just lost it.
Lars, James, and Kirk returned to San Francisco to attend the funeral of their friend and bandmate.
Lars took over from then on. And, in all fairness to Lars, without Lars Ulrich, that band wouldn't be where they are today.
Okay, I want to talk about what Lars said. How Cliff got, thrown out the window and that was landing on him. Like, I don't know what to say about that. That's a really painful way to die. Like, in my opinion, if I had a choice between dying, in lava or drowning or sleeping or any any car or jeep or bus, whatever the vehicle is, if we die in this vehicle crash or anything, I'd probably pick die in my sleep, because that's the most that's the most peaceful way anyone could ever die. You're just not gonna feel a thing, except if you wake up and start like screaming. But in my opinion, dying in your sleep is way, better than dying in any other way. And especially about how Cliff died. I just can't. How Lars said, he got thrown out the window and the bus landed on him. Wow. Bro. Okay. Like, and about what Kirk said, the bus driver came and started pulling on the blanket that was underneath the bus next to Cliff. What the hell was the bus driver doing? What? I don't understand. Why was he doing that? Like, what was he doing? I just don't understand. And, I think there was a lot of proof that the bus driver was actually drunk while driving. But James did also say that they got hit by, they passed a black ice on the floor, and which made the bus start, rolling and everything. And now I don't know which one is true, if the bus driver was actually drunk or they just passed like black ice or anything. But I'm just gonna say he was drunk, because, well, black ice would have done, I think, something even worse than just the bus landing on its side, But I don't understand the part how Cliff was the only guy that died, even though there were a lot of people stuck underneath the bus. I just don't understand how Cliff was the only one to die. Now, to be honest, if any other Kirk or Lars or James or anyone took that bunk that Cliff was in, they would have died as well. But I didn't want anyone to die of them. Imagine how lucky they were that they found each other. They're now the biggest heavy metal band in the entire world, and imagine the songs that would have been created by Cliff if he didn't die at such a young age, And in my opinion, I don't think there would have been Saint Anger or anything. I just think there would have been even better songs than the Saint Anger album. Now, I'm not saying the Saint Anger album is bad. It's really good. One of my favorite albums is Saint Anger, but the drum sound is I don't even know how to describe how bad the drum sounds, but I'm so glad that they fixed it in live concerts, I've been to Metallica's concerts, I think, twice or 3 times, one of them, when I was little, when I was, I think, 9. And then I went, I think, this year. I don't remember. I think on March. No. March? But from where did I get March? I think April. April something. I think April 3rd. And yeah. I was sick. But now we're not gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about Cliff and how, and what would, Metallica be if Cliff was still alive, I really want to know, how Cliff was, how Metallica would have been with Cliff. And I think also if they didn't kick Dave out of their band, I think it would have been worse, to be honest, because Megadeth songs are actually disgusting. I don't like them at all. Kirk even now, I knew, I think, Megadeth from when I was 3, I think. 3. What's happening to me? When I was, I think, 11 or 10. And, I just hated their songs. And I just watched about how Kurt was reacting to one of Dave's riff, and he clearly did not like it by the look at his face. To be honest, he was like, no. And like, even if Dave was with Metallica, is still with Metallica, sorry, like, it would have been way worse. And plus, not only because he was doing drugs and he stole a guitar, his first guitar, actually he stole it, and doing alcohol and getting drunk and everything at such a young age, like, Metallica would have been way worse. But with Cliff, I just wanted Cliff to see how big Metallica have grown, especially in 1991, the concert in Russia, Moscow, the 1.6 million people concert. It was just insane. I wish Cliff could have seen that, but sadly, he passed away. Rest in peace, Cliff Burton. He was so young, and I loved him so much, and I still do. And I believe, like, he's now in a better place. Thanks guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.